The battle lasted for 1194 BC to 1184 BC. It is one of the most important events in Greek history and has been told and retold through many works of Greek literature. It is the most significant incident that occurred during the 12th century. The Trojan War is believed to have originated from a quarrel between the Greek goddess of wisdom, Athena.
I am Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare, and intelligence.
And the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite.
I am Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and eternal youth.
After Ares, the goddess of strife, gave them the golden apple, which symbolized the fairest woman of the land. The Olympians, tiring of the argument, sent the goddess to Paris, a lowly prince, to be judge of the two. Aphrodite, jealous and frightened by the amount of fame Athena had amongst mortals, offered Paris the glory he would obtain once he made his enemy's wife, fell in love with him and abandoned her husband, so long as he picked her over Athena. Paris, enraptured by the idea, chooses Aphrodite as the fairest and should therefore receive the apple of discord. Aphrodite kept true to her word and charmed her half-sister Helen to fall in love with Paris. When her husband Menelaus was away, Paris decided to whisk Helen away to his kingdom forever, looting treasures and riches from the city in the process. Agamemnon, Menelaus' brother, had heard of his sister-in-law's decision, and after consulting the infuriated husband, prepared for allies across the country to send fleets of warriors to Troy.
Commander!
Yes!
Your sister-in-law has been taken away!
What? Repeat yourself!
Your sister-in-law has been taken away by Paris!
We shall do something to avenge my brother.
Yes, sir!
The horde of armed soldiers were led by Odysseus, with his commander-in-chief Agamemnon and over thousands of foot soldiers.
I am Odysseus. I am the general of the Greek army, son of Hercules and Antilochus, a fearless leader and a skillful strategist.
I am Agamemnon, the commander-in-chief of the Greek army. I carry out his order as his right hand.
I am Lucas, a random foot soldier. I was once a petty farmer, but was snatched away to serve my country.
Upon arriving, the Grecian soldiers set up camp right outside the boundary. The massive army dug up the earth and settled in rough huts. Usually, before the battle, the Greek warriors would conduct a ritual to honor the Greek gods of mythology, who they believed to guide them during the battle. This usually consisted of regular prayers and sacrifices. The warriors would gather around the bonfire during meal times and scrape off a generous amount of their bounty to the fire, which they believed to be an act of sending an offering to the gods of Mount Olympus. Prayers were conducted before the light of dawn, which were unique for every god.
The battlefield and iron, who knows each soldier in each field, who whispers in each general's ear, I trust in your wisdom, goddess, I trust in your righteousness, Athena, I trust in you.
But the people of Troy had built defenses of their own. The city was protected by a high wall roughly 20 feet around the city with gates in the wall to let people in and out. Within the walls were the citizens of Troy, their important people, and their rulers.
I am Paris. I am Alexander, son of Priam, son of Hecuba. I am the king of Troy.
I am Hector. I am the prince of Trojans. I am the greatest warrior in Troy, for Trojan War.
I am Cassandra, princess of Troy, daughter of Priam and Hecuba, king and queen of Troy.
I am Vulcan, a middle-class syndicate. I am the children priest of Apollo.
I am Anastasia,
I'm a beggar. I got no money. I got no food. I got no house. I got no wife too.
The wall provided protection from the outside and an advantage in height for the warriors of Troy to rain arrows down on their enemies. Meanwhile, the Greek army had been trying to breach the wall for roughly 10 years. However, during the Trojan War, after a decade of stagnant battle, the Greeks still could not find a way in no matter what they tried, and the Trojans were not able to drive the Greeks away.
Near the end of the war, the Greek warriors had had enough of the war, and many were on the brink of surrendering. It seems as if the endless battle would never end. However, one night, the goddess of wisdom, Athena, visited Odysseus in a dream.
Odysseus, for many years we have battled against Troy, but you are far from victory as ever. You must use deception if you wish to conquer. Now listen to my plan. You shall build a giant wooden horse with a hollow center, inside of which you and your men shall hide. Once Troy has reached in the Trojan horse past their walls, you shall wait until nightfall, where you and your army shall sneak out in the shadows and destroy the city with swords and fire.
The next morning, Odysseus awoken, inspired from Athena, and rushed to tell his men the plan.
Guys,
Yes, sire.
last night I was visited by Athena in my dreams. She told me a really plan.
What is it?
She told me to build a huge wooden house.
A horse, sire.
Yes, a horse. We shall sneak inside the house and wait for the city. We shall wait long enough for the right moment.
Yes, sire. We shall execute this plan.
They began to build the structure. From the wood of the corner tree grove and crafted by Appius, on the wooden feature they inscribed, without delay, the Greek warriors began to set the plan in motion.
In our plan, we shall get into the house.
Yes.
We should stay quiet.
Yes.
Do not let them know that we're inside the house.
Yes, sir.
So it's kind of obvious that we're inside the house, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You mention every one of them. Destroy the city.
Yes, sir.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Meanwhile, the remaining army burned the remains of their camp and set sail to Tenedos, making it seem as if they had declared defeat and left. After settling into the Trojan horse, Odysseus and the 30 remaining soldiers in hiding began to wait.
Once the Trojans realized that the Greeks were gone, they began to rejoice in victory, believing that the war was finally over. In the midst of their excitement, they opened their gates to inspect the land past the walls for the first time in a decade. They discovered a Grecian soldier who begged not to be killed on sight as he had something to say.
Oh, Trojans, do not harm me, for I have come to tell you that the Greeks have surrendered and have departed for their homes.
Then why is that you're still here?
I was chosen as a human sacrifice, as a symbol of defeat to the goddesses, but I escaped and I hid myself.
Then what is this towering obstruction that they have left in their wake?
It is the Trojan horse, sire. The them safely home. But they build it so big so that you cannot get the horse past your walls. For they fear that if you do, Athena would bless you instead of them.
Hearing this, the Trojans began to drag the wooden horse within the walls of Troy, claiming it as a symbol of their victory. Many debated on what to do with it. Some considered hurling it from the rocks. Others wanted to burn it. And some of them thought they ought to dedicate it to Athena herself. Two of the Trojans in particular, Cassandra and Laocoon, warned against keeping the Trojan horse entirely.
You cannot possibly keep this. It is a symbol of the Achaeans.
I agree. We must get rid of it at once.
Do not be ridiculous! We have conquered the prisoners of this war for the past 10 years! This shall be our souvenir.
You must listen to me, my king. For I have been given a gift by Apollo of prophecy. I don't see any fortune that we have to keep this obstruction in our city.
Silence! My father has spoken. The Trojan horse shall remain here, and we will treat it as our relic of our strength.
Let's go.
For you have also been cursed by Apollo to never be believed. Your pleas will fall upon your death here.
Once the decision of the Trojan horse had been made, all of the citizens of Troy turned to a night of reckless joy and celebration. They dined feasts fit for all of Troy, indulged in music and dance, drinking wine until the moon had risen high in the night. By the time they had worn themselves out and settled to bed with happy hearts, it was already too late. The Greek soldiers hiding within the Trojan horse snuck out of their hiding spot and began to slaughter the Trojans. This was the end of Troy and its people. The end.